We head now to Dakota Sherrick, who is at one of Appleton's polling locations. Dakota.
I'm outside of St. Matthew Lutheran Church right now, where there has been a steady line of voters all day. And the voters I have spoken to say that despite having a little bit of a wait, they feel things are running pretty smoothly. Appleton Mayor Jake Woodford told me earlier this afternoon a lot of polling places saw bigger lines this morning, but started to die down by midday. One polling place I went to around noon didn't really have a line at all. But the election inspector at St. Matthew says the voters here have had to wait about an hour and a half.
Such a long line of people, but people are just relaxed, and thank God for the weather.
It was a breeze, I think mostly because it was beautiful out and I was in line with some pretty decent people, so it was nice to be able to talk, so the wait wasn't too bad otherwise.
Outside of making new friends in line, I also noticed people bringing books and even their laptops to help pass the time while they wait. Live in Appleton, Dakota Sherrick, Action 2 News.
Let's go to Dakota Sherrick. She's at a polling place in Appleton. Dakota.
Here at St. Matthew, the line is long, going down the block. The election inspector here says that their line started before polls even opened this morning, and it just has not stopped. She also knows that a lot of the people coming in today are also registering to vote as well. And not only are there a lot of voters to assist, but also hundreds of absentee ballots to count. However, this particular location is also processing a lot of the ballots with the small nick issue, checking each by hand to ensure everyone gets their vote counted.
Just everybody be patient for all the ballots to be counted all over the United States. Be patient. It's a big process, and this year it's been a different process for people. And in Wisconsin, for all of those who had to have the ballot that had a little flaw in it, everybody's doing their best. Your vote will be counted correctly.
And despite the long lines and the extra steps they are having to take, Miller hopes to have all the votes counted here by about 10 o'clock tonight. Live in Appleton, Dakota Sherrick, Action 2 News.
Live team coverage across northeast Wisconsin continues tonight with reports from Appleton and Outagamie County.
First, we'll head over to Dakota Sherrick, who's at one of Appleton's polling locations tonight. Dakota.
You all, I have been outside of St. Matthews for a few hours now. While it might be hard to tell since it's dark outside now, the line just has not stopped. In fact, a few voters passed by us not that long ago and said they were waiting 2 and 3 hours just to cast their ballot. Earlier this afternoon, I noticed some people bringing books, and one person even brought a laptop just trying to fill the time while they waited. But one thing people consistently told me is that they were actually making conversation with the other voters in line and that everything was really calm. The election inspector here was telling me how some were concerned that there might be some tension or people being confrontational, but that has not been the case at all. Despite many voters having to wait up that long for several hours just to cast their ballot, you know, spirits have been high.
I think that the people they're very respectful today. Where people anticipated problems, they're doing very well. You can see me joking around with people. You just talk to people, keep them calm, and so today it's been a good day for us.
And despite the high turnout here, Miller told me that she is hopeful that they will get all of the votes counted by about 10 o'clock tonight. Live in Appleton, Dakota Sherrick, Action 2 News.
We even saw people who brought items like books along to keep themselves occupied while they waited. Dakota Sherrick joins us now live in Appleton with an update on how the rest of the evening went. Dakota.
Yeah, it was busy here at St. Matthew this election day, and actually the poll workers are just now starting to leave for the night. But for a majority of the day, they had voters lined up way down the block, and the election inspector here has 20 years of experience doing this, and she told me earlier today that she's never had to manage wait times like this before, like what was seen today. And though earlier the wait time in the afternoon was about an hour and a half, by the time the dinner rush hit, some voters were waiting 2 to 3 hours to cast their ballot. But even with the long lines, most people I spoke with told me they found it nice to see so many people getting out to vote.
A really great turnout, and I guess I would rather come here and wait than have no one vote.
It's my job just like it's your job and everybody else's job. We owe it to each other. You know? We want to be a citizen, and we owe all the other citizens to go vote.
Overall, more than 2,000 voters came to this location and hundreds of absentee ballots were processed. Live in Appleton, Dakota Sherrick, Action 2 News.